derby, it's your first meeting with Pep. What are you expecting?
Well, we know that we are playing against one of the best, if not the best team in the world, in Europe, that for sure, and in the world. They have developed well since he arrived here. The same happened at Bayern Munich and at Barcelona when he was there. So he's one of the best, most influential managers and head coaches in the last 10, 15 years. So we know what kind of team and what kind of style of football we are facing, and that's why it will be about tactical discipline. It will be a lot of defensive work necessary, a lot of sprinting, running against the ball, with the ball, waiting for transitional moments, and then taking our chances. This is what it's all about. I think we created enough chances in the last 10, 11 games. At times we converted them, like at Leeds, for example, where we scored 4 goals. But it's correct, we should have scored more goals, especially in the last game against Watford. We should have scored at least 1, 2, 3 goals in order to win the game. But I would be more worried actually if we didn't create chances. But I think the way that we've been playing, the way that we prepared and created those chances, I think was good. And also against the ball, when the other team is in possession of the ball, we are compact. We didn't allow them too many chances, and this is exactly what we need in the game against Manchester City.
Ronaldo has 1 goal. I think Ronaldo 1 goal in his last 10. I think after the Watford game, you said that you couldn't really play anyone else. You didn't have any other options there. To what extent is it perhaps a failure of forward planning at this club, that you're reliant on a once great player at 37 whose best days are clearly behind him, and it's clear that he's struggling to play 90 minutes week in, week out? To what extent is that a failure of the club?
Look, a few things that happened in the last couple of weeks or 2 months or 1.5 months couldn't have been foreseen by nobody. Now with Edison at least being available for the game and for the upcoming games, we have other options. I mean, with Marcus Rashford, we have another player where I will insist and continuously be behind him and with him to develop him. I mean, we achieved that with quite a few other young players in the past, and I don't see why this should not happen with Marcus. He's got abundant talent, he's got the pace, he's got the physicality, he's got everything that you need for a modern striker, no matter if he's playing from the wing or in the center. And I will put all my energy into that to help him to take the same pathway that other players did in the last 3 months.
With the process now underway for a new manager, I just wondered, and your consultancy at the end of this time, how involved will you be in that process to select a new manager?
We haven't spoken about that, to be honest. We had 1 or 2 meetings with the head of scouting and with 2 other people, but I think you will understand that I will not speak about that in detail. But about the possible new manager or about the managerial position next season, we haven't spoken as yet.
Ralph, sorry, I fully appreciate that your priority is, the Champions League and the Premier League and finishing in the top 4. But as someone who's been heavily involved in strategic planning at clubs in the past and understand the importance of it, how difficult is it when the club don't know the new manager and the profile necessarily of him to actually plan for this summer ahead, which is going to be a considerable one? Normally, obviously, clubs like to plan months and months in advance, but at the moment, how can the club identify the right profile of player, for example, when they don't know who the manager's going to be? Or is it literally going to be a case of we're just going to have to start from the beginning of June or the end of May once we know who it is?
I get your point, but again, I told you that so far we haven't spoken about that. So, to be honest, I'm the wrong person to whom you address the question right now. My focus is on the upcoming games and getting the best out of the current players and team, and all the other things. Either need to wait or whenever it's the right time to do that. I'm here, and of course we can also speak about that, but so far we haven't had the time or the opportunity to speak about that, and this is what it looks like.
Okay, last question from Hugh.
Ralph, I'm sure you've watched
Pep Guardiola teams over the course of the last 10, 15 years and thought yourself about how you might play against them, but in theory to then putting it into practice, I mean, how much of a challenge will that be?
I mean, in the end, it's about controlling the game, about not letting them play and having them the ball just without any pressure, because this is exactly what they're looking for. They're always looking for creating an overload of players in half spaces, even with their goalkeeper almost playing like a centre back, with at least one of their fullbacks playing on a midfield 6 position, playing with a false 9, always dropping back into midfield. So this shows we are fully aware of the idea, how they want to play. And for us, it's about always finding moments where we can put them under pressure, where we hopefully can take the ball away from them, and then taking advantage of those transitional moments. And there were some teams in the last couple of weeks and months who could do that. And it's up to us to show on Sunday that we can also do that.
Okay, guys, still on the topic of Cristiano Ronaldo. Tadi, I think one of the reporters mentioned that he's past his prime. But do you agree that he has passed his prime, or do you think he just doesn't have the right team around him or the right set of players? Or are United relying too much on him? Do they start him? Do they bench him? What's your opinion for this match?
I think our views will be different, but
Okay.
Botak go first.
First of all, we're talking about a player that at age of 37 years old, no one can reach his peak at 37 unless you are playing in MLS. That's it. And unless maybe your name is Carlos Vela. Okay. Tapi kalau cakap pasal Cristiano Ronaldo, yes, dia dah pass his prime. Kita tak boleh deny benda tu. But at the same time, Cristiano Ronaldo being Cristiano Ronaldo, yes, dia bukanlah pemain yang sama, tetapi bear in mind juga dalam season ni, who's the top scorer for Man United in Champions League is him. And even who's the top scorer for Man United in Premier League is him. So, past his prime, yes. Tapi kalau cakap soal apa yang dia boleh contribute dalam team, kita tak boleh deny juga. For example, United had a very strange game in the last maybe 5 games or maybe the last 7 games. Tapi lawan Brighton, I think the last 2 games, right, they won 2-0. Who's opened the goal scoring charts? It's him. Sebab Man United need this kind of players that apa je dalam situasi apa pun, dia akan jadi pemain yang akan step up dan akan buka peluang untuk yang lain. Again, at some point kadang-kadang benda-benda macam ni pun dia main peranan. And I think Faiz suka benda-benda macam ni bila bercakap soal media being unfair to players. Dia sangat tak setuju dengan benda tu. Lawan Watford, macam tadi I mention 22 shots tapi tak ada satu gol pun. And everyone's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. But cuba tengok balik how the first chances datang from Bruno Fernandes and he didn't convert it. And then Anthony Elanga, Pogba backheel, and then Elanga didn't convert it. Tapi every attention datang ke Cristiano Ronaldo dan menampakkan lagi dia ni. Yes, again, I know that he's not the same player from Real Madrid, from Juventus. Tapi attention tu terlalu banyak dekat dia sebabkan nama dia adalah Cristiano Ronaldo, sampaikan yang lain ni tak nampak. It's like apart from this 11 players from Man United on the pitch, tapi apa-apa pun okay, it's Cristiano's fault.
Cristiano first.
Aku tak tahu, setuju tak benda tu?
Tak, sebelum tu, Rim boleh tanya tadi, hang akan bench ke start Ronaldo?
For this game.
For this game lah.
For this game.
Sebab game ni besar kan.
Okay, for this game, I put him.
Put him lah, starting 11 lah.
put him.
Okay.
Yeah. For Cristiano, where do I start? actually, I have a half-baked, very lazy theory about Ronaldo that I formulate in my own.
Nice, we like to hear it.
Okay.
Come on.
So, nobody will hit their prime at 37, let's face it.
That's
so
true.
he might have passed his prime or whatever. The peak maybe at Real, 2010, 11, 12, 13. I think personally for me that was his best years. But we are talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, the supernatural footballer. So at his peak, nobody can come close to him. Nobody, him and Messi. We know that. When he is maybe now 2 levels down, he is still elite. The same with 26 or 27-year-old strikers, top strikers in Europe out there. You can pitch him one-on-one with the likes of Patrick Schick or maybe Erling Haaland now at 37. And that is incredible for me. And the thing about media is the biggest problem at United now is the fact that they are not scoring despite all the chances that they have. Ralf Rangnick just mentioned about it. Imagine if United forward line converted not much, but maybe 70% of those chances missed. People will say, even if Cristiano doesn't score, people will say like, oh, even when he doesn't score, he is still setting up for his teammates, blah blah blah. So that's the hypocrisy that we are dealing with as a United fan at the moment.
Actually, kalau balik pada soalan yang tadi Rim tanya, sama ada aku akan letak Cristiano Ronaldo dalam starting 11 ke tak. Dia ada two different questions tu. First, akan letak dalam first 11 atau tidak. Tapi kalau the bigger picture, will I put him in my squad for Man United?
Adakah dia akan jadi striker utama squad hang?
Itu salah dia.
That's it. I takkan letakkan.
Okay.
Sebab
faham.
Again, I think couple of months ago, Jamie Carragher and even Paul Scholes yang paling lantang bercakap pasal soal benda ni. How can a club that as big as Manchester United still rely on a striker, on two strikers, which is Edinson Cavani and Cristiano Ronaldo, that bukan kata dah past his prime, tapi still dah lebih umur 35 tahun, while the likes of maybe Liverpool, Mo Salah at 28, 29, Sadio Mane also, and even Man City, now they are pushing for Riyad Mahrez, for Foden, semua fresh and young players. Mahrez not young players, but still fresh players at his peak. So again, untuk bercakap pasal pemain yang untuk aku letakkan dalam squad aku, jadi first striker aku, surely it's not Cristiano Ronaldo. Walaupun kalau dia minta gaji yang jauh lebih murah pun aku takkan letak. Tapi sebab dia dah ada dalam squad Man United, dan untuk this particular game memang I put him in the first 11.
I think I've got to agree with that. Okay, all three of us here drive on daily basis, right? We have one car at least to our name, right? We drive. So our car, for us to use it daily, must be the fuel consumption must be good. It is in a good condition because it will serve us daily, right? But if we have a Rolls Royce at home, are we going to use it daily? I don't think so.
Special occasion,
no, only on special occasion. So Cristiano Ronaldo is a Rolls Royce in a Manchester United full of Myvis. That's what I thought.
Interesting.
Kau compare orang dengan Myvi sekarang Faiz. Perangai kau.
Kalau dia dengar Rashford.
Rashford tu apa saga? Jangan.
Very interesting concept, guys.